Headed to Bolivia? Think you've got it all figured out? Think again. Smiling for a photo, using a certain hand to pay, or even drinking tap water, what's totally normal back home could land you in hot water here. Bolivia is a land of stunning landscapes and rich traditions, but it's also a place where a small misstep can lead to big trouble. We're talking dirty looks, fines, and even ruining a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Ready to unlock the secrets to a smooth Bolivian adventure? Let's dive in. Number 13. One extra glass of wine could end a marriage. Can a second glass of wine ruin a marriage? In some parts of Bolivia, yes, it can. In traditional and rural communities, especially in the Andean highlands, there's an unwritten rule. A married woman should never drink more than one glass of wine at public events like weddings, festivals, or family parties. Why? Because having more is seen as a sign of immodesty, a lack of virtue, and a threat to the family's reputation. According to a 2019 report by San Andres University, 57% of highland Bolivians said they believe women who drink more than one glass in public are not respectable. Even more shocking, 32% of men said they would reconsider their wife's role in the household if she broke that rule. In some regions, this taboo goes so far that exceeding the limit could be used as legal grounds for divorce. It's not about the wine, it's about control, perception, and cultural tradition. So if you're a guest at a Bolivian celebration, remember, the second glass might not just raise eyebrows, it might break marriages. Number 12. The prison where punishment is forbidden. Welcome to San Pedro Prison, located in the heart of La Paz, and easily the strangest prison in the world. At first glance, it might look like a typical correctional facility. But once you're inside, it's like a parallel universe. There are no armed guards patrolling inside, no barred cells, and no standard uniforms. Instead, the inmates run everything themselves. Prisoners elect their own leaders, maintain internal order, and divide the prison into neighborhoods, ranging from basic to high-end real estate. Yes, cells are bought and sold, with prices reaching over $10,000, depending on size, location, and luxuries like private kitchens, bathrooms, and even flat-screen TVs. But the strangest part? Inmates live with their families. Their wives and children move in, attend school outside, and come back home to the prison every night. Inside, there are shops, food stalls, barbers, cafes, even repair stations. It's a fully functioning mini-city, built and run by prisoners. At one point, San Pedro even offered dark tourism tours. For $5 to $10, tourists could walk around, take photos, and even stay overnight. Number 11. Some Bolivian tribes allow multiple wives on the same day. While Bolivia's national law clearly forbids polygamy, not all parts of the country follow the same rulebook. In remote indigenous communities, such as the Aymara people of the Andes near Potosi or the Takana tribe deep in the Amazon, there are still traditional marriage ceremonies that allow a man to marry multiple women on the same day, as long as everyone consents and the local community approves. These marriages are not recognized by Bolivian civil law. The wives have no legal rights, no claims to inheritance, and no government protection. But within the tribe, these relationships are fully accepted. Why does this still happen? It's part of an ancient communal philosophy called ayu, a social structure where family is viewed as a collective working unit, not just a romantic bond. In this model, all wives help raise the children, tend to the land, manage livestock, and preserve spiritual rituals. However, it's important to note this custom is now extremely rare and limited only to isolated tribal communities. In Bolivia's major cities and modern society, monogamy is the norm, and most Bolivians strongly oppose polygamous traditions. Number 10. Never gift shoes, watches, or handkerchiefs in Bolivia. Thinking of bringing a nice gift to your Bolivian host? Be careful, because some gifts can send the wrong message or even curse the relationship. In Bolivia, gift-giving is steeped in symbolism, and certain everyday items are seen as bad omens. For example, a watch symbolizes that someone's time is running out. A handkerchief means tears, sadness, or permanent goodbyes. And shoes? They mean go away, literally wishing someone would walk out of your life. Giving a pair of shoes to a lover or close friend is thought to guarantee that person will leave you soon. A 2019 survey by San Andrés University found that 70% of Bolivians in Potosí and Oruro said they would refuse or return such gifts immediately. Number 9. Forbidden zones that even locals fear. When you picture Bolivia, you probably imagine the stunning Uyuni salt flats, the sparkling blue of Lake Titicaca, or the rhythm of carnival dancers twirling through colorful parades. But behind this beauty lies a far more dangerous truth. Scattered across the country are red zones, areas so risky that even locals refuse to enter, especially after dark. Among the most notorious are Coroico, Caranavi, and Serere Coronia in the Yungas region, just north of La Paz. On the map, they look like scenic jungle routes, winding through misty cliffs and dense rainforests. But in reality, these paths are controlled by criminal organizations and have become strongholds for drug trafficking and armed groups. According to a 2022 report by the Inter-American Security Organization, IAS, over 40% of international tourist incidents in Bolivia over the past decade occurred in this region. There are no cell signals, no consistent police presence, and often no one nearby to call for help. Even truck drivers and local farmers avoid these roads at night, fearing ambushes, or simply vanishing without a trace. Number 8. Never drink the tap water. There's no official law against drinking tap water in Bolivia, but your stomach may wish there was. According to Bolivia's Ministry of Health, the tap water in most major cities, including La Paz, Santa Cruz, and Cochabamba, does not meet international hygiene standards. Why? Outdated filtration systems, broken underground pipes, and a lack of proper chlorination mean tap water can carry bacteria like E. coli, Giardia parasites, or even heavy metals. The World Health Organization reported in 2022 that over 30% of tourist hospitalizations in Bolivia were caused by unsafe water use, mostly from drinking it straight from the tap. Locals typically boil their water or rely on sealed bottled water. If you're visiting, the safest option is bottled water with an intact seal or a personal, certified water filter. Just one sip from the tap might cost you your entire trip. Number 7. The bowler hat code and what it really means. In Bolivia's Andean highlands, there's an iconic symbol you'll see everywhere. Indigenous women dressed in layered skirts, bright shawls, and proudly wearing bowler hats. But these aren't just fashion statements, they're secret signals. In traditional communities, the way a woman wears her hat quietly tells the world about her marital status. Tilted to the right equals she's single. Straight in the center, she's married. Hat. Tilted to the left equals she's taken but not married, dating, or in a relationship. This silent language is still very much alive today. In cities like La Paz and El Alto, over 80% of women still wear their hats this way during cultural events, festivals, or market days. So, if you're thinking of buying a bowler hat as a souvenir, just make sure you're not sending the wrong message. You might attract more attention than you expected. Number 6. Don't litter or spit in front of Pachamama. In Bolivia, Mother Earth is not a metaphor. She's real, living, breathing, and sacred. Known as Pachamama, she's honored daily in both spiritual rituals and everyday habits. Whether it's building a home, planting crops, or simply sharing a drink, Bolivians often offer her a gift first. A splash of liquor poured onto the ground, a pinch of coca leaves, or a few grains of rice. It's a way of saying, "Thank you, please allow me." So when you spit, litter, or waste water onto the earth, it's not just impolite, it's seen as a direct insult to Pachamama. Especially in the western Andean regions, such acts can get you scolded, refused hospitality, or even confronted publicly. This respect goes far beyond tradition. In 2010, Bolivia made history by becoming the first country in the world to grant legal rights to nature. The Law of the Rights of Mother Earth, Ley de la Madre Tierra, declares that forests, rivers, and land have the right to exist, regenerate, and be protected, just like human beings. Number 5. Never take photos of strangers without permission. Snapping photos on the street might seem harmless, even normal in the US or Europe. But in Bolivia, especially among indigenous communities, it's a completely different story. Many people, particularly the Quechua and Aymara groups, believe that a camera can steal their soul. Their soul, or ajayu, isn't just inside them. It's also tied to their image, clothing, and hair. Taking a photo without asking is seen as a violation of personal and spiritual space. That's why many locals will immediately turn their backs, cover their faces, or even confront the photographer. In some cases, tourists have been chased away from markets, yelled at in public, or forced to delete their photos on the spot. According to a 2023 tourism survey in Bolivia, over 70% of locals said they feel offended or disrespected if photographed without being asked first. Number 4, don't tip too much or too little. In many countries, especially the US, leaving a 15–20% tip is almost automatic, even expected. But in Bolivia, that same habit could leave people uncomfortable, confused, or even suspicious. Tipping here follows a very different set of social rules, ones that most tourists completely overlook. In everyday settings, like family-run cafes, street stalls, or local eateries, tipping is often refused, especially if it seems too generous. An American traveler once shared that after tipping 50 Bolivianos, about $7, at a small restaurant in La Paz, the waiter tracked him down the next morning to return it, saying, "You must have made a mistake." It's not that Bolivians don't appreciate kindness, but a large tip can be misread as piffy, arrogance, or worse, an attempt to create an inappropriate relationship. On the flip side, not tipping at all in high-end places like fine restaurants, upscale hotels, or with private drivers and tour guides is considered impolite. Number 3, going barefoot in public is illegal. In some countries, walking barefoot is a sign of freedom, even fashion. But in Bolivia, bare feet on public streets can get you fined. Yes, it's actually against the law. In cities like La Paz, Santa Cruz, and Cochabamba, going barefoot in government offices, supermarkets, clinics, or public transport is considered a public offense. According to a 2023 report by the Bolivian Ministry of the Interior, over 380 people were fined for breaking this rule in La Paz alone, and 15% were tourists unaware of the law. Why such strictness? In Andean culture, feet are seen as sacred, the grounding point between body and earth. Going barefoot in public isn't just unsanitary. It's believed to contaminate one's spiritual energy, and worse, spread bad luck to the community. Many Bolivians view walking barefoot outside as a sign of disrespect, laziness, or misfortune. Number 2, never use unmarked taxis ever. At first glance, getting around Bolivia by taxi seems simple. Just flag one down and go, right? Wrong. Especially in major cities like La Paz, Santa Cruz, and Cochabamba, using an unmarked taxi can turn into a nightmare. These illegal taxis, found mostly around El Alto Airport, bus terminals, and tourist zones, have no company logo, no service number, and no meter. The drivers wear regular clothes to blend in, making it nearly impossible for tourists to tell what's real. Once you get inside, the story often follows a disturbing pattern. You're driven to a deserted area. Your bags are searched. And your cash, phone, or even passport is stolen. In some cases, victims are forced to withdraw money from ATMs, then abandoned on the street. A 2023 report by Página 7 revealed that 2 to 3 such taxi robberies occur in La Paz every week, most targeting first-time foreign visitors. And it's not just taxis. Night buses to popular destinations like Potosi or Uyuni have similar risks. Criminals pose as fellow passengers or even fake police officers, waiting until you're sleepy to quietly unzip your backpack or check your documents and take everything. Number 1. Never point your finger at someone. You may not think twice about pointing at someone while speaking, but in Bolivia, that gesture could end your conversation before it begins. Especially in indigenous communities like the Aymara and Quechua, pointing a finger is viewed as highly disrespectful, even aggressive. In local belief systems, the hand carries your energy. When you point directly at someone, it's seen as forcing your energy into their space, an act of domination or intrusion. Break this rule, and you might get scolded on the spot, be avoided by the community, or worse, be completely shut out of interactions. A 2022 survey by the Bolivian Ministry of Culture found that 68% of people in the highlands view pointing as deeply offensive, and many said they would cut ties with someone who does it repeatedly. Instead of pointing, use a gentle hand wave or motion with your whole hand, a far more respectful gesture. In Bolivia, how you move your hands can say more than your words ever could.